Signs of lying in psychology. Lying. A person may be exposed to situations in his life in which he is deceived, perhaps by the people closest to him and dearest to him. He is exposed to lying by them, but they do not declare this thing and do not leave any clues or evidence of their lying. Their lying is motivated by personal ambitions, the whims and inclinations of the soul, a weak motive of faith, and weak mutual trust. There are behavioral manifestations and evidence that these people are lying, which can be known through their body language and the repercussions of their psychological dealings. In what follows, we will present some signs indicating lying in psychology, as well as a mention of the effects of lying on the individual and society. Signs of lying in psychology. The body often freezes, because his subconscious mind tries not to draw the attention of others to the behavioral situation. Anxiety, which appears with several signs, including slurred speech, excessive sweating, and rapid breathing. Sudden change in behavior, without any introduction or justification for this change. Accuracy of attention. A lying person is characterized by his extreme attention to anything, and this appears in his attempt to speak very slowly while being precise and cautious in his speech. Imbalance in eye gaze when speaking to others, as the liar prolongs his gaze into the eyes of the person he is speaking to for longer than necessary, to give the impression that he is telling the truth, or blurred vision and the inability to stare directly into the eyes of the person he is speaking to, both of which are signs that may indicate lying. Behavioral manifestations in body language, such as his hands being preoccupied with anything, frequently placing his hands on his face, frequently touching his hair, and moving his hands with his clothes. Extreme anger, especially when he fears that his lie will be exposed. Confusion in general, especially when interrupted by a sudden question that was not taken into account. Repetition of speech, as he tends to repeat some phrases constantly, because he was bankrupt and had nothing to mention to anyone who spoke to him. He frequently evades responsibility and places it on others. His frequent use of phrases that call for belief in him, such as his saying, "Please, believe me, and I do not lie," as well as his tendency to frequently swear on what he says. The effects of lying. Lying has many negative effects on the individual and society, including, the liar deserves the wrath of God Almighty. His deserving of people's hatred, and hatred poisons social relationships and causes a lack of trust to the point where the individual is not safe from others, missing out on many public and personal interests. As a result of the spread and prevalence of lying, dealing with a lying person is careful with his statements and not making judgments on them, especially with regard to unregistered trademark as legal aspects. Reveal his situation and warn about it as much as possible, as the situation allows him to do so that he does not have more disadvantages. Avoid arguing with him and engaging in verbal debates with him in a way that makes him feel sincere.